Okay, so let's talk about two more because
Sure.
we're just trying to give the audience a feel for what he's facing here. So
Well, it's the court of
is
public
it,
opinion too. So yeah,
that's right. So is it Joy Dickerson? Joy is Joi.
Joy Dickerson
Okay,
Neal.
Joy Dickerson Neal. She's filed a lawsuit, 22 pages, and she alleges she met Sean Combs after she had appeared in a music video with him while she was a student at my alma mater, Syracuse University. She claims she later agreed to go out to dinner with him on January 3rd, 1991, while on a school break. She and I were probably at school at the same time. I graduated Syracuse in 92. During their date, Dickerson alleged that Combs intentionally drugged her. This is another theme we see through the complaints, that there was intentional and surreptitious drugging by Sean Combs. She accused him of sexually assaulting her and then video recording the sexual assault. That's another theme that we see through the allegations unproven. Days later, a male friend allegedly revealed to her that he, along with other men, had viewed the sex tape, quote unquote sex tape. She asked her friend who had seen it, and the friend told her everyone, she alleges. She claims from that point, her life went into a tailspin and things went down. From there, she's alleging assault and battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, human trafficking, and revenge porn. He's denied it and rejected the claims of misconduct and said he's an easy target for accusers who will falsify the truth without conscience or consequence for their own financial benefit. Then there's Jane Doe, who's 17. And she's alleging she was gang raped and sex trafficked by Sean Combs and the former president of Bad Boy Records, Harvey Pierre, when she was just 17 and in the 11th grade. She claims that she met Pierre in a lounge in Detroit and he told her he was best friends with Combs. Doe claims Combs convinced her to accompany Pierre and a third assailant on a private jet to come to his studio in New York City. I must say, for the record, these are all terrible decisions by these young women, just terrible. There is a reason why you don't say yes to this when being asked to go on a private plane or to a private hotel room or a recording studio owned and controlled by said man when you're a young woman and you're alone. There is a reason why you don't do that. I'm not blaming the victim. I'm saying we need to take some responsibility for putting ourselves in dangerous situations. And honestly, trust no one. Just trust no one. Use the buddy system, go with somebody else, don't drink, and make sure that you're above age before you agree to any of this stuff. She claims she agreed and boarded a jet that flew to Teterboro, New Jersey, and was taken to Combs' studio. She alleges that once there, Combs and his associates, including this guy Pierre, plied her full of drugs and alcohol, and alleges she was subsequently gang raped at the studio by Combs, Pierre, and this third assailant. Her complaint states that while Combs was raping Ms. Doe, the 17-year-old, he complained that he could not achieve climax unless she pinched his nipples as hard as she could, and that Combs then allegedly watched as the third assailant raped her while she told him to stop. Quote, after third assailant was finished, Mr. Pierre took his turn at raping Ms. Doe and then violently forced her to give him oral sex, during which Ms. Doe was choking and struggling to breathe. Once again, extreme detail. Is this another one by our friend Tyrone?
Yeah. So let me just say this from the outset about this. These are harrowing accounts, and there's a level of specificity in these accounts that I think we have to note as well. And I mentioned that you see lawsuit after lawsuit, because the clock was about to run up on that New York law that allowed people to file old claims. But I also wanted to be clear that sometimes people may feel more comfortable coming forward with allegations against somebody like a Harvey Weinstein or a Diddy, even though Diddy has not been charged, not been found liable, because they see other people coming forward. So I want to make that clear. Yes. And here's something to note, too, about the weakness of these legal cases. And when I say that, let me be clear. The Joy Dickerson Neal case, I did a whole sidebar on this. Diddy filed a response and said almost 80%, 90% of the claims in that case should be thrown out. Why? Because the statutes that she is suing Diddy under weren't even the law when this assault took place. So yes, you can bring a lawsuit against somebody through the New York Adult Survivors Act, sure. But what you can't do is sue somebody for saying they did something illegal that wasn't illegal at the time. And they're all the companies that she's suing as well. They weren't even in existence at the time this alleged assault happened. And there's more arguments that they make too, that he's not an employee of the company. bottom line is I think there's a strong argument that a lot of those claims could be thrown out. With the 17-year-old.
This is the Syracuse University alumna.
You're correct, the Joy Dickerson-Neal one. And then the 17-year-old, Diddy made a legal argument that those claims are time barred under the statute. They can't be revived. And I read through the filings, attorney, I think there's a lot of ground there. There's a lot of water to those arguments. And so, again, it becomes a question of why were they filed? Was there a rush to file them? That was something that made me think, too. For example, we don't know when these women came forward with their accounts and spoke to legal counsel and had a lawsuit. Was there a rush to get the lawsuits filed before the deadline closed? Was there an ample time to do due diligence about this? Something I've suspected, because these seem to be some legal issues that could have been flagged at the very beginning. We don't know. But having said, it doesn't take away from the very chilling and harrowing accounts from these accusers.
Yeah. In that last case, the Jane Doe, who says she was 17 when this terrible thing happened to her, and the defendants state that she cannot allege what day or time of year the alleged incident occurred, yet purports to miraculously recall the most prurient details with specificity. And then they do argue that it's time barred and just brought too late, so that she's out of time on it. Being in debt is like sinking in quicksand. You're trapped. You feel helpless. And the harder you struggle, the deeper in debt you can get. Been there. If you are trapped in debt, let me throw you a lifeline. Done with Debt. Done with Debt has created a new strategy with one goal in mind: to get you out of debt quickly and permanently. Done with Debt stands between you and your bill collectors. Then they negotiate a plan to end your debt permanently without bankruptcy and without loans. They can get you out of debt quickly, and they can put more cash in your pocket monthly. But you do need to contact Done with Debt soon, because some debt solutions expire. It's super easy to get started. Just go to donewithdebt.com and get a free consultation. What do you have to lose? Talk with one of their experts about a strategy that will end your debt faster and easier than you thought possible. Visit donewithdebt.com. That's donewithdebt.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.